give us your timer?
Hello, John, William. Oh, there's William. Lowell, Jeff, and John Wayne.
Greetings.
Starting up the YouTube live stream now, so just in case anybody wants to watch. Nobody else in the waiting room.
Hello, this is John Wayne Dossie.
Hey, John Wayne. Waiting on it to start on YouTube. Jeff and John Wayne.
Greetings.
There we go. We're getting
Jeff and John Wayne. Greetings.
We're getting the feedback from YouTube. Somebody has it on.
Don't
Maybe
know.
maybe I need to go on to YouTube on my computer and turn the volume down.
It's John Dossie. Anybody hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
TV?
Yeah, we can hear you, John.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, I think it was my computer that was doing the feedback on YouTube, so I just muted YouTube on my computer.
That's a plan.
Do what?
That is a plan.
Yep. So, Lowell, what do you think about that antenna? I didn't figure it would work, but it did.
The great mysteries of electronics sometimes.
So for those of you that don't know, I have a 10-meter MFJ ham stick attached to the peak of my house. It's been sitting up there since I got my 570 and got my all band up in the backyard. I didn't really need it. So I hooked it up to my 2-meter rig last night and was listening. It received really good. So I was like, huh. So I got out my SWR meter, put it in line, and I got a 1.5 SWR using a 2-meter radio into a 10-meter ham stick.
The answer to that might be the words MFJ.
Yeah, you know what? If it works, it works.
It worked.
Somebody's eating and didn't bring us any.
Got some squirrel food here. You like that?
Was
Sure.
it almond? Is that
Almond?
an almond? Yeah, I love almonds.
Squirrels like almonds.
Squirrels like anything in my backyard, including digging holes.
That too.
We got a
They're
pecan
looking-
tree and throw them at my dog.
Yep. They're looking for the nuts they buried last fall and over the winter.
Yep.
Either that or they're looking for us. We're pretty nutty.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, so far it's just us 6. Oh,
Maybe everybody
That's
else is
seven.
waiting to show up next week.
yeah. Well, the emails went out because I got them yesterday and today. So,
Well, the email today only had a link to unsubscribe to Ham Club.
oh, really?
Did not have a link to the meeting.
Well, I was telling Lowell the meeting number and the password is the same for every meeting all the way through November.
Mm.
Because I set it up as a recurring meeting.
And I'll set
Yes.
set up the
Push-
next month's meeting notice. I'll put the link into what is it, Zoom. I got so many conference things I can't remember which one we're using.
You know, I had to go back to the May 15th email to get to the link to join the Zoom meeting.
Well, I almost unsubscribed twice. I right-clicked and it opened a separate window.
Mine put it on my calendar. I don't know. Maybe I clicked on the right thing to do that. I don't know.
Well, I normally would put it on the calendar, but I haven't done that since midweek last week. So, I know.
So Lowell's Rich still got family in town?
Yeah, he actually just texted me, asked me for the meeting ID. And Tom
Oh.
just emailed me too. So I'm replying to both of them.
Yeah, Tom sent it to me.
No, I'm not talking about that, Tom. I'm talking help us
Oh,
out with
the
the
other
tech class.
Tom?
Yeah.
Boy, Tom, the VP is having a hard time getting that tech class. I sent him the Rev B file today. He said when he opened it, there was nothing in it. But I opened it the other day when we did our test session to see if it's going to work, and it's there. I don't know. There's something going crazy with his iPad, I think is the problem.
There you go.
Well, he might not have PowerPoint on that iPad.
That's a good point. Yeah, if you don't have Office on there, that might be why it's not doing anything.
I think it's an iPad.
I'm
Hey,
sure
Lowell, can you
iPad.
send mass emails?
Yes, I can.
You might want to throw the stuff and go to Ham Club and send a mass email out and just throw it in there because people
Okay.
are asking for it. That might be the better thing than doing one at a time. Oh, there's Hugh in the waiting room. Hey, John Wayne, what is that on your ceiling back there?
Oh, that's my museum collection of old computer PC boards.
Motherboards.
I was gonna say,
Motherboards?
Motherboards.
I was gonna say it looks like circuit boards of some kind.
Yes, it is. Take you on a tour.
Don't make me get dizzy and throw up now.
Oh, this is artsy pictures from years and years ago.
Okay.
There's a couple over here with the map of the world. Let's see. Echo absorbers up that way.
Well, Jeff,
Well,
I said I could, but
uh,
I'm not seeing that option anymore. So I might have
Recycled
changed
egg
my
crates.
profile.
Okay.
And back down that way, we have the PC motherboards. All the way from XT to 486s. So yes, there's quite a collection up there.
Okay. Let me get into it, Lowell, and see if I can. I mean, I know I can.
I mean, I've got the email, but I don't have everybody's email address.
You know, it's odd because I had permission a couple, 3 weeks ago when I sent out the thing about doing the tech class. So I don't know why I'm not seeing it now. I'll have to get with Bob and see if he can reinstate me to have that profile.
Yeah, I mean, I lost some things. I think he said they did an update or something and some things changed. I'll just give him the meeting number and password. What the heck?
Good evening, Hugh. You're muted. You're muted. There you go.
I'm good.
Yes, you are.
Hey, Jeff, if you need to step aside for that, to get that email out, if you want to put me as a co-host, I guess we can try that and see how that works. So I can let anybody in that comes in while you're away.
I got two screens.
And Jim Clark is on YouTube.
Who?
Jim Clark, N5QL.
Okay.
If anybody can chat with him, he's trying to check with us.
Greetings, Jim.
That is not what I wanted to do. I sent it just to members.
Jim, if you can go to 5.2, we can give you some audio.
I'll get him in just a second. And here comes Tom. Okay, the email's been sent to everybody. I didn't need to do that, crap. We'll give it a few more minutes. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening. I forgot how to use the old address. You know, I didn't know where the link was, so I got there's got to be a way to save this on Zoom, right? For your meetings?
Well, it's on, well, I don't know about individual people's Zoom, but
Put it on your calendar, Tom.
there should be a
Link
link
on my calendar?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there another way though to do it? Like if you had a Zoom, the app itself could store different meetings that you attend that are normal, that are standard?
I don't know. We may have to add everybody as a contact.
I think that's
Yeah.
possible, but I've not explored it.
Okay. Well, anyways, I looked on my calendar and there was no link. It was just my reminder. Join the meeting.
Yeah, I think if you look in the original email that came out, Tom, I think there are links to add them to your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar.
Probably did not do that. And I'm sure a lot of people will forget too. Yeah, we'll figure out a way here that makes it easy for me. Maybe others are the same way. Anyways,
It's the same information. It's the same information all the way to November because I set them up as recurring, so they use the same meeting ID and password.
Okay, I'll go back then. That makes it pretty good. I'll go back and see how to load it onto the calendar that I have. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, Attila.
How you guys doing?
Just waiting on everybody to come in because probably it sounds like everybody had the same brain cramp I did. Forgot about it being Memorial Day next week.
Right.
That's possible.
I have
Quite
brain
honestly,
cramps
the only
all
reason
the
I
time.
remember is because I was planning to go out of town to be my in-laws this weekend.
I couldn't find the email and had to get it from Jeff off the repeater.
Okay. We may have a bunch of people join in.
Yeah, just an FYI, Bedford and Hearst we're looking at maybe a joint field day exercise, but it's still in the planning stages. But they're trying.
I don't know how they're going to do it if there's still a no larger than X number of people.
Right. Hearst apparently is granting them some privileges to park outside and be able to work off the parking lot someplace.
Okay.
But I'm not sure it's going to go yet. It's still planning and.
Well, the good news for us is the library opened up today, so we may can find a way to schedule a testing session.
Ah.
I'm not sure. I think the hours are only 10 to 6, so we may have to do it on like a Saturday or something. But
Right.
Depending on when the tech class ends on that on the second Saturday, if we can make it work, I might just do it right behind it so it's everything's fresh in everybody's head.
okay. Hey, Rich. Hey, Steve. Oh, Steve's still connecting. He may not can hear me. But hey, Steve, if you can.
Jeff, we got a standing email with the ID and everything for Zoom.
We're gonna fix that, yeah. William's gonna update the emails that go out for the meetings and put that information in there. It's the same information for each meeting all the way through the end of the year.
That reminder email, Jeff, that you send out, you know, it has that reminder. That's pretty good. It just shows you though, if you want to not see that email anymore, you got to go to that link, which is North Richard Hills Amateur Radio Club online. Could it be put into that as a reminder with the link on it?
Yeah, we can just copy. We could copy the invite.
Just automatically have it go out. You know.
Yeah.
That'll solve everybody's problem, I think, without having to look for it or try to figure it out.
Well,
I get that reminder every month.
Yeah, and then the problem with this one was I forgot the meeting was this week instead of next week. So.
Oh yeah, well that's understandable.
Because we had the board meeting last Saturday, and it's usually 2 Saturdays before the monthly meeting. So, and I just working at home, I lose track of days. I didn't even realize the 25th was Memorial Day. Okay, so yeah, we're still streaming. I looked on my YouTube. I closed my browser a while ago and hoped I didn't mess it up.
Hey, while everybody's kind of waiting, does anybody have one of the low power FM transmitters for FM broadcast?
You got your answer there.
No, I bought one for our church, but they have it, and they've been doing drive-in church services, broadcasting it on FM.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're about $130.
Yeah, except they're all sold out everywhere. Every church figured this out.
Yep, because our church, our media team actually contacted me to see if I had one, and they were able to track one down online somewhere. I'm not sure where they got it from, but they checked with me like, hey, do you have one of those? I'm like, nope, don't have one of those.
Well, the $500 and $600 ones you can still buy, but the $100 ones are gone.
While we're giving it a few more minutes, if everybody will, in the chat thing, just put your name, your call sign, and member, since it looks like everybody's a member. That's how we can keep up with the roll. And if you have to be watching on YouTube, if you'll put that in the comment section, then we can have a record of your attending our meeting tonight and put it in our database so we know that you were there. All right, well, we're 15 minutes in. I guess we'll go ahead and start. This is probably all that's going to show up tonight. I'm glad everybody made it. Like I said, I had a brain cramp and was thinking it was next week, so it doesn't surprise me that some people may not make it tonight. We are on our second monthly meeting of Zoom, and it seems to be working really good. We've used it for a couple of different things along the way, and I'm really pleased with it. I hope everybody else is. It makes it a little bit easier to meet during this time when we can't get out. Hopefully that's going to change here pretty soon. So, William, do you have anything from last month's meeting in the minutes you think we need to share?
Let me find the minutes. Let's see, I would just, for June 13th, there's the VHF contest.
Okay.
And I guess there was a siren test earlier this month.
Yeah, I wonder where Dave's at. He's usually here.
And got a note from that Bob was talking about the repeater and the decode encode on the PL being 141.3 under test.
Yeah, he's got a second repeater in his garage.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got one of the my cores in the garage, Motorola my cores.
and it's about it that I can see.
Okay. I was going to ask for a treasure report, but I guess Travis is still finishing up his move and getting all his stuff out of his old house. Or he may be confused about it like I was. Tom, do you have anything you want to share with the group?
You're muted.
Tom?
I'm sorry, Jeff, were you speaking to me?
No, I was trying to see if Tom had anything he wanted to share.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was asleep at the switch. I heard you. Nothing right now. I wanted to talk real quickly about that tech class PowerPoint thing that Lowell you sent. No, Jeff, you sent that. And I had some trouble opening it up. And I think I got a problem on my iPad opening it, but it works on my laptop using PowerPoint. So I got to work it out. Although other PowerPoint presentations that I downloaded from the very site, which is the earlier versions, they all worked. It's just that one that didn't, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, Tom, because like I said, that's one I opened up Saturday when we were running through our little test session to make sure everybody could do it. And it worked fine for me.
Well, I got a working copy, I know now, from your thing, because it loaded okay on my laptop. So I just have to figure out what the heck is going on.
You may want to just save it as a PDF.
No, the PowerPoint.
Yeah, you can save it.
PowerPoint is a different format from the one that was earlier.
Yeah, it's probably a different version of PowerPoint. You don't have
It's Rev B. Rev B. All the other ones that I downloaded on from W5YI, they all worked immediately, and they showed the correct capacity, like 38 megabytes or something like that. This one only shows 7.8 megabytes. And for whatever reason, that's what I get when I try to open it. Nothing.
Oh, I'll do some digging. I know I've got a better version of it.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a downloaded corrupted file.
Yeah, it may have downloaded and even said it was corrupted after a while, but it does open properly. I just forwarded it, the same file you sent, Jeff, over to my laptop, and its PowerPoint presentation opened it. So maybe there's a version or something about the way I've got the PowerPoint on the laptop that isn't right. So I'll keep playing with it though.
Rich, put your socks back on. Man, it's terrible.
I've been working over at Justin's all day. I just ran over here. It's like, oops, I had an alarm set. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to get back home. So
unmute your smell.
The fun of.
You can mute your mic. You always ought to be able to mute your smell.
Yeah.
How many ones and zeros does that take?
Yeah.
2 to the 12th power. What is that?
Need a quantum computer.
Hey, does somebody have YouTube up that they can send Jim the meet number and password? I'm afraid to try to do too many things on mine because it may crash on me like it did last time.
If Jim will go to 5.2 simplex, I can talk to him. He's only 100 yards away.
Okay. Oh, there he is. No, that's Lee. I'm sorry. I have to keep an eye on the meeting room, but
Yeah, the guy running the meeting ought not be the guy running the Zoom.
well,
That might be a thought, Jeff, to reassign a secondary host so that you can run the meeting and then your host can watch for people popping in and out of the waiting room.
yeah, can I do that with it live? I don't even know. I got to figure out which way to go on my laptop screen.
Well, right now is not the time to play with it. I'm just
Yeah.
noting.
Hey, Lee, we can edit the
Hey there.
meeting from now on and add somebody there. Okay, so Bob's not here. So Lowell, you want to talk about the training class?
Yeah. I think I spoke with a lot of the guys already, but we do have our class set up for June 6th and the 13th, 2 Saturdays. Start at 8 o'clock, well, 8:30 in the morning, run till 5 in the afternoon with an hour lunch break. Right now, I think I've got about 6 students that have said they was going to attend. We have a Slack channel at work that's for ham radio, and I threw it out there on that Slack channel, and I had a couple of guys do that contacted me, said, hey, we want to join, including one guy from Romania. So I'm not sure how all the questions will coincide with the Romanian question pool, but I told him, he's welcome to join us and glean whatever information he can. And there was another gentleman, I believe he was from Australia, but he's now in the United States, and his Australian call sign expired, and he wants to re-up with a US call sign. So looks like we got the ball rolling. We did a test this last Saturday, and most everything was ready to go for the class. And if anybody knows of anybody, have them email me, and I'll send them the Zoom meeting IDs and everything, and they're welcome to join us. And since the library sounds like it opened today, I will verify all the information, their times and all that, and I'll try to do the test session. I hope I can do the session maybe after that last part of the last class, because it shouldn't last more than a couple of hours, and maybe we could just have everybody meet, at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock at the library and go ahead and knock the test out.
Okay. All right.
So you're going to do the class virtually?
Yes, we're going to go ahead and do it via Zoom, because at the time we were setting the class up, we wasn't sure what the rules and regs were going to be, especially trying to use the firehouse or whatnot. So we're like, well, let's just set it for Zoom and see how it goes. And it seems like so far it's been pretty well received.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger classes we've had in a while, isn't it, Lowell?
The last couple I helped with was onesie twosie. So yeah, if we actually get 5 or 6 people to show up, that'll be great. And I know my neighbor's grandson, he's in East Texas for right now. I don't know if he'll be here come June, but he wants to take it as well. So he was real close last year to getting his tech license. So hopefully he'll be able to pass this year.
Okay. So Lee and Gary, welcome to the meeting. If you will, put your name, call sign, and stuff in the chat so we can use that as our roster tonight. Hugh, you got anything on the emergency? Oh, there he is. He's still there.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's being stupid here. So right now, the North Richland Hills isn't letting anyone into the building. So all the nets that I've had to run, I've run from the house. And then I'm linked to them through the computer, so me and him can talk if he needs to do something, but they've got that whole building locked down. So that's about all that's been going on. Fortunately, we haven't had any really bad weather, so it's all gone around us.
Yeah. We had some high winds here at the house the other night and some hail, but it wasn't real bad.
Yeah. I mean, I've recorded 33 miles per hour, but they don't get upset until it's over almost 50. So, and then we've had pea-size and stuff, but not much more than that. I did hear some homes on the far end of North Richland Hills did get some damage from some of the hail out of that first big storm.
Okay. There's Gary's smiling face. All right. Christina, you got anything from the PIO portion?
I do not.
Okay.
I'd have to talk
Anybody
to
out
you
there?
more about what needs to be done.
Okay.
And I need the up-to-date list of who I still need to contact with.
Yeah, I'll try to remember to do that
Thank you.
tonight or tomorrow. It's been a weird week. Okay. Does anybody out there have any announcements or anything they want to share with the club?
I don't know. Did you want to talk about a little bit about field day and that kind of stuff?
Well, I was going to let you do that after this.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. Doesn't look like anybody has anything to share. So, Jeff, if you want to fill us in on field day.
Sure. Well, everybody should have received a note. Basically, I did some research. There's only 6 other clubs that are listed on the locator in North Texas. Actually, there's 7. We're one of them because I put our information up there a while back. I reached out to Steve Lott, KG5VK. He's our North Texas section leader, right? And a lot of other clubs are, not participating in field day this year. Especially in North Texas, like Arlington's not. And I kind of, he sent me a copy of Arlington's notification, and I kind of, used some of that wording for our notification. So what they're really doing is, not canceling the event. They're not going to change any of the rules. So, but they're really kind of encouraging people to work, from their home location, because different states are in different situations and, political states of lockdown, vary by state and county by county and city by city. So I put in, so if we do that, then basically people can operate, like a 1B if they're, on portable or battery power, 1C if they're in a vehicle, which is kind of, I don't think you want to do mobile and log and all that, but you can do that. 1D, which is typically just working like we normally do off of electricity. The only caveat about running 1D is you can't contact other D stations. You can work anybody else.
And most of the people are going to be doing that. But you think they'd kind of make a
it would be nice if they did that. Well, you can still work them and you just, log them and you take them out of your log. Or you can do 1E, which is off emergency power, a generator or something like that. So if you do that, please, be sure it's grounded and not stuffed in your garage and,
Oh, we all got those.
Well, or those kind of things. And so really, we still want to encourage everybody, to participate in it. And so I thought that if we did like in a little internal contest, just to get, some rivalry going. So I thought we'd just do, something real simple. Digital contacts are 2 points, CW contacts are 2 points. So I thought we would just do that, phone 1 point, and then have a mixed CW only, digital only, phone only, satellite to make Dave happy, and then maybe a rookie category, somebody that's only been a ham for like 1 year, and just kind of do that and print up some certificates or plaque or something, Corona Field Day contest winner, North Richland Hills kind of thing, class of 2020, right? That's just some thoughts I had. I'm more than happy to entertain some others. Like Hugh said, when we met with the board, we didn't even know if we're going to be able to get in the building, right?
Well, they currently right now have the 911 operators working in that building. They've split them into 3 central areas.
Yeah.
And as long as they're there, we're not going to get in the building.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? You know, the city, you know, is, you know, the support and of them, and they're probably going to be that way. So, you know, we miss out on, we could still do, if we wanted to, we could still do a virtual Zoom meeting like we always do before field day. If we want to do that, we could still do a training session if we still wanted to do that. We can do that via Zoom, and then people could, you know, operate as they want. I know Lowell and Richard trying to do something, so you can use one of the 1x1s, of course. Even if we had a sign-up roster and people were using the 1x1 call sign, we'd still have to submit a check log, right? So it's not even worth sending it in because we break the 1,000-foot barrier. You know, one would hope that they could, but Steve said they're trying also to push it up to get them to change a few things, but it's kind of fallen on deaf ears. You know, if they would change the 1D thing, that would be good this year. And then if they eliminated the 1,000-foot rule, then we could submit a club log, right? With a sign-up roster and scheduling, and people just operate from their house, and then we aggregate the logs. But you know, if they do that, then we can kind of adjust fire a little bit and do that as well. But I don't know if they're going to change it or not. They're just too busy trying to sell their damn t-shirts, caps, and coffee mugs.
So who's going to come around and deliver hamburgers?
That's a good question. Usually we get Chick-fil-A, and Lee does the hamburgers, so it'd be up to Lee to drive around delivering them.
You can go chase your own chickens for lunch.
There you go.
I'm just glad when the ice cream man drives by. So, you know, simple scoring, you know, you make a contact on SSB, it's 1 point. If you work phone and digital or CW, any combination, you're in a mixed category, right? And then everybody just submit their logs, you know, within a week to me, and I'll work on aggregate, putting them together and scoring them up.
So one thing I just thought about when you were talking about the newcomer, maybe not just a ham less than a year, but maybe somebody that's never participated in field day. Because I don't know how many people that are less than a year that are going to jump right into field day.
That's true.
I mean, that's one thing I thought. But I'm with you on the 1D. Of course, we talked about this Saturday. I think it's ridiculous that you can't contact a D, especially this year, because they're not telling you you can't contact an A. You know, the A's can't contact A's, B's can't contact B's, and so on. So you're really paralyzing the D group, because that's what the vast majority of people are going to be. So
you think they'd make one stipulation for it this year because of the virus?
Exactly, because I mean you're going to have a lot of low scoring logs this year, because you know most people are going to be,
if any.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're welcome to send your individual logs in, but again, if you're a 1D or a 2D or whatever, if you have 2 people in your house, you still can't contact any Ds, and that's what the vast majority of people are going to be this year.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, you'll have some that have generators and can do emergency power and all that, but not a ton of them.
No, because I sat there and read the rules when I got down to the D, and I says, give me a break, because I know that hasn't changed. You know, it's the regular format, but you would think the ARRL would change something, like I said, because of the virus, that everybody's working from home. You would think they would push that part of it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's my thought. I mean, it's not like this is a permanent exception you're asking for. You're talking about 1 year, and it's strictly because of what's going on.
Yeah, I'll send Steve a follow-up and say, hey, you know, we talked about it, and you know, if we could get one thing changed, that would be it, is the D exception.
Well, maybe,
No other have it, you know.
I don't know
but-
if we could petition for it. Too early, and now it's probably might be too late just to petition them. Everybody send something to ARRL, tell them to get off your ass and kind of alleviate the D functionality.
Yeah. And you know, things could change quickly here and it could turn into a normal field day. I doubt it, but it could.
Yeah, but yeah, unless the 911 operators move, we don't have a location.
Yeah.
And then we can do the 102 degree swelter in at a park thing.
That's what I was thinking,
Didn't
the old park and greet.
Didn't I just read recently that Governor Abbott opened up the bars?
Yeah.
Those are,
So
As of Thursday.
how
or
come
Friday,
City
excuse me.
Hall ain't opening?
Yeah. Don't worry about this coax cable on the floor there, barkeep.
hey,
So-
if the batteries though, maybe we can use it.
I mean, if anybody has any other suggestions or anything, you know, maybe the rookie category, we just say, you know, new to field day, or, you know, I don't know.
Or just not even active. I know in the past when we've done rookie categories, if you had somebody that wasn't active on HF in the last year, that would be considered a rookie.
Yeah, typically they won't have a HF setup though.
That's true.
Just they were like me.
So you can still do 2 meter, right? So, but not repeater.
Are you talking about the VHF contest?
Yeah. Well, I think field day, you can also do, we never do FM or 2 meter.
Yeah, you can do 2 meter, 6 meter.
Yeah.
As long as it's not, like I said, as long as it's not through a repeater.
Well, if you're operating as an individual and you're a tech and you don't have CW or 10 meter sideband, you're going to be limited to whatever equipment you have. And most people only have FM handy talkies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why personally, I think they need to change the band plan to allow people to use digital that are technical tech instead of CW. They make it.
There is a
thing.
proposal before FCC to revise the whole licensing structure, and it's been there for about 1.5 years now, and have not heard anything. I don't know that there's a notice for proposed rulemaking.
Is that the proposal where they would basically allow the technicians to have a small portion of all the HF bands instead of just 10 meters?
Most HF bands.
Well, they have them now, but it's CW only.
Yeah, and it's not even digital.
Right. If it was digital, they can run FTA. Then they get a tech, you know, hooked in. What good is 10 meters right now? You know, 15 wasn't even open barely yesterday.
Hey,
You never know. On field day, you might have an E opening on 10, but you know, otherwise you're talking somebody you can see. So you might as well work them on 2 meters.
So we digress, but that's all I got. If you've got any suggestions, just let me know.
what's the date of field day?
It's the 27th?
Yeah,
27 and 28.
Last weekend, right?
Yeah, 27, 28.
Okay, I'm gonna make a phone call here real quick.
And I may not be around for field day after all. I forgot my wife has a good friend of hers that she went to Bible school with that's getting married in Oklahoma that weekend.
So let her go, man. Let's get our priorities straight here. Field day first and then a wedding afterwards.
You just got to take the kids with her.
That's the exactly.
Oh, I've already said if I go
exactly.
on this trip, because it's going to be about a 5-hour trip each way, round trip, and a 30-minute, 45-minute session ceremony, kids are not going. Ain't happening.
Well, you not either then.
No, I'm going to have HF. I'm going to have HF mobile, and she's driving.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's a little better.
Yeah, 5 hours is nothing, Lowell. We went to Mississippi about 2 weeks ago to get my son's stuff, 9 hours over and 12 hours back.
Yeah.
And I don't have an HF, so all I could do was listen to DMR.
So on the bottom of the note, if you wanted to do an email campaign, it's FD info, short for field day info, fdinfo@arrl.org. If you wanted to start your letter writing campaign.
What is it again?
Yeah, put that in the chat.
Fox Delta.
Put it in the chat if you could. Jim.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do that. Where's chat? Where's chat? Oh, I didn't even see that.
The simplest change that they could make is just simply make the D sections scoreable for this one time.
Yeah.
Like I say, you're not asking for a permanent. You're not asking for.
Start your spam robot to.
I know. Let's just get a list of all the call signs from the FCC, which I do have. They sent them to me, and we can just set up a mail merge and change the from address to all those and send them to field day. I'd like to have about several thousand emails pop in at one time.
Well, since you know how to do that.
Well, I tell you what, I learned how to do it because that's how I sent out all the emails to the inactive members. A couple of times I've sent those, and I need to send another one for them. But yeah, I just set up a mail merge, and it works. I mean, it sent them all out in like 3 minutes. But I did get all of the. I got a listing from. Oh, it's from ARL actually. They sent me a database of all hams in like 7 or 8 zip codes around this area with their address and all that. So I've still got that somewhere. They sent me about a month ago, well, right before coronavirus hit. And I haven't checked on the latest new hams. I need to do that also. But I don't think it includes their email address. What a shame. We put Christina to work. She can send them all out postcards.
Well, yeah, you can make that list yourself at the FCC website. Doesn't take much doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I figure we're an affiliated club and they say we have benefits, so let's let them do what they say.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We got a lot, by being an affiliated club, we got a lot of different benefits that we can tap into. And, you know, why not use them?
Let's write some letters and send some emails. I'll write an email telling them I'm handicapped because I can't get out and be with the group at the fire station or the park or whatever it is. And, you know, I need to contact some D class stations that are also staying home due to coronavirus. I don't want to get out and be around 60 or 100 people.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're going to not allow Ds to connect with Ds, you're essentially telling them don't participate. And I don't think that's what they really want.
That's right.
So I just got some good news.
Good.
So I just talked to Matt, who's the emergency manager, coordinate to ask him about using the fire training facility for field day. And he doesn't see any problem with us being in there at that time. And so he said, even if they still leave it kind of as it is now, they're fixing to move the 911 center out, and we would be able to be in there. We would just have to follow the social distancing rules that are in play at that time. But he believes that we could have our field day there like we always have.
Oh, that would be great. Because, I mean, normally we're at least 6 feet apart anyway.
Well, and that's just it. We just couldn't do the 2 team sitting next to each other at tables if the rules are still as strict as they are now. But he feels they're going to release all of that real soon anyway. He's been in all these meetings with the governor and all of that. And so based on what he's thinking, he says by then it should be pretty much normal.
Well, that's good.
No, that's one consideration. The other problem with that is there's some people like me who are taking meds that compromise the immune system. I'm not getting out for a field day in that circumstance.
Right. But I was just going to let you know, it at least allows us probably to have the building if we want it.
Okay. I think maybe we, as a contingency, figure out what all we need to do if that is available and we decide to do that. As of right now, it looks like it's individuals, but yeah, I mean, if they open it up, we can do the 6 foot easily. And you could realistically even do a logger and a radio operator like the room Rich normally gets. You know, you can sit 6 feet apart easily and have the logger, and we could figure that up, and we could set it up another way in another room if we need to.
We just need to figure out who's going to operate what station and how many stations and all that good stuff. And then as far as food, I think we'd almost have to be limited to something like going to Jimmy John's and getting pizza, or just everybody be on their own for food. Because I mean, what are we, like 3 weeks, about 6 weeks out from field day now? So
Yeah.
that's a lot of planning to do in a short amount of time.
Well, Winterfield Day, we got pizza. You know, for the few of us that were there.
Yeah. Well, if it doesn't drag too far before we can make a decision, we can probably still get Chick-fil-A to provide food. They do every year. We just have to ask.
I'll call Danny and ask him. He just got back into town. I haven't been waiting on him to get back. So I'll call him tomorrow and ask.
Who's Danny? Is he with
He's
Chick-fil-A?
the owner of the Chick-fil-A.
Okay, because yeah, I usually I dealt last year with the female. I can't remember her name. I've got an email somewhere.
Well, I know who to go ask and everything. So
Okay.
I'll get that checked out tomorrow.
So what would we want to, let's say if we're able to operate there, we're going to do like a 2 alpha or 3 alpha?
That was actually my next question. Who's going to manage what station? My vote would be, let's keep it small. I wouldn't think anything over 3 at the most, just because I think we're gonna have limited resources. So I would think maybe either 2 or 3 alpha.
I'll do 20 again.
I'll do whatever.
I usually do 40.
I'll do digital.
There's 3A right there.
Yeah, and we can, like, especially like on the digital, if Tom needs to go home, we can swap out. I can take over the digital or something. We can tag team.
Yeah,
in.
that's what I usually do. I leave by 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Well, you're usually running digital on one band. You're not running them all on all of them, are you, Tom?
Well, I've got the magnetic loop. I mean, I could run 20 meters, 18, and 15. Was it 13 meters and 15 meters? I could do those 3.
Well, the only one that would cause issue would be 20 with Hugh. I know we had that issue before.
I don't know if you can do the work bands on field day. I don't remember. It seems like you can.
No, you
work
can't.
bands.
No, you can't.
Okay.
I think.
Well, certainly
think-
20 and 15 and 18 meters is available, right? On field day?
No, 18 meters is a work band. All you've got is 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10, 160, and VHF.
Yeah, I can't do 10. Well, okay, then I can do 15 and 20. And I could do 40. But that's down there and it would interfere with others that would be doing 40 on something else.
And what we may could do is schedule doing them on 40 and 20, say like if Hugh or whoever's doing 40 wants to take a break, we could jump in and do digital during that time period.
Yeah.
Well, 40's not very active during the afternoon anyway. It's usually at nighttime. It comes alive.
Yeah.
You know, we can also we can also do an experiment. You know, I was just thinking here, if a laptop or something next to your transmitter in the field day headquarters there, and you had your transmitter on Vox, and I was sitting at home with Zoom, and I said, "Hello, CQ," would that trigger the the radio? And then I could listen when I stopped talking.
Sure. Yeah, it's just like operating remotely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a try. That would be cool.
I would still suggest, even if we're able to do that, go ahead and petition the ARRL and try to get as many votes in there as we can to see if we can get that D restriction lifted for those that wouldn't be able to join us.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
that'd be good.
We're gonna have to find out and see how things go as on, because I may not I may not go out of the house for field day because my wife being asthmatic, and I don't want to do any exposures. Right now, I don't go anywhere except grocery store, essentially. With her, that's it. I don't know. So I may end up staying, not work field day this year because of that. If we do it this way, you know, everybody from home, then that's a different ball game, you know, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, well, that was part of the plot, is even if we're allowed in the building, you know, it's, you know, we're not the youngest group of guys, you know, and gals in the world. And then it's like, you know, are you going to bring something home? Or, you know, and you also have a lot of things that we'd have to think about as far as multi-opping, you know, shared VFO knobs and microphones and keyboards and all that kind of stuff too. We'd have to work around all that to be safe as well, right? Nobody's going to want to spray bleach on
I think I think we ought to be individual this time around is what I would think, instead of all meeting together like we normally would. I mean, this is a weird old year, and then we'll see how we work and do the you know, our state or the winter field day, and maybe that might be, we'll be able to, this thing will blow over or finally start gearing down, because, you know, by the end of the month they're predicting 100,000 deaths. They're already in the 90s now.
Yeah, I don't want to hold water on the thing. There's a group of 4 or 5 hams that want to set up a portable station and operate W5R or N5R. You know, more power to them. I just am saying that I'm going to have to operate from home.
Yeah, it's a whole other thing when you're talking about the club doing it versus, let's say, Lowell and Rich want to go out and set up in the park, or even use the fire station or something. But I don't know. I'm kind of like Ron. I don't go any place unless it's to the doctor or the grocery store, maybe Home Depot. But
it's a lot of work to have to set up an antenna or 2 antennas just to, you know, work one band or whatever, you know. So that's my thought.
Well, I agree.
You go setting stuff up and everything, you're going to be less than 6 feet from maybe bumping elbows. You'll be closer than 6 feet, and you know, until you're ready to operate, and then you can achieve that 6 foot radius, you know, or 6 foot distance. So, you know, it's.
So are we saying that we probably don't want to do it this year at the fire station anyway, even if it's open?
Well, it appears based on what it appears that Jeff had indicated that the majority of the clubs are not going to put on I'll call it a club event.
Yeah.
And, they're thinking the same way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and like Arlington was like, hey, even if we can do it, most of the individuals in the club are, have some type of pre-existing condition, they're older, we're older, those kind of things. I'm not 20 years old.
And from my perspective, it's what is the fun of field day? I mean, yeah, operating is fun, making contacts is fun, but just the hanging out with the guys and the gals and eating way too much food and way too many chocolate chip cookies. That's kind of what makes field day fun. So
Oh, yeah,
take
definitely.
that piece out of it. Why not just work from home and keep everybody safe and not go to the trouble of trying to set up a remote station?
Yeah, work from home, set up a Zoom group so we can shoot the breeze when we get tired of operating.
I totally agree with that. With the count we pay for, we could start a Zoom call and people can go on it and drop off, anytime they want to run for like 24 straight hours without any problem.
Well, I think at our board meeting, didn't we decide that we probably would be better off working from home and not from the location? I think we decided.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. And we've also moved all of our board meetings to Zoom calls. We're not even doing the dinners, doing breakfast right now. And we may not do it anymore really at all, because it's a lot easier just to do it sitting at your home.
Well, and this will also give us an opportunity to try out the Slack channel and the Discord channel, so we can communicate. If Lowell finds a rare station on 40, he can shoot it out and everybody can try to go work it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, y'all gonna have to help me put up my antenna.
What's this week, Kimosabe?
It's like, what are you talking about? You talking to your buddy pole?
Yeah.
You're gonna put your not a swastika buddy pole up,
That's all I've got. I don't have a tower house.
I don't either.
I have a bone to pick.
I don't have a tower.
Really?
I don't know what a tower looks like.
I've got one laying in the yard. It's just not erected.
I've got 20 confirmed countries out of 30 worked on FT8.
Nothing wrong with that. And Hugh, that little configuration you had at field day, say what you will about it, but was it not Alaska and Hawaii? We worked like within 2 minutes of each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The bunny pole really works. I don't complain at all about it. I still got a tower laying on the ground here.
Just let me know when you're ready. We'll get her going. And
I gotta get
talk to Rich about those dipoles that don't work.
I'm gonna get Jose to dig the hole and pour the concrete. Once I do that, then I can put it up myself. It's just during unemployment times, we don't have money to be buying concrete.
Yeah, you can talk to Rich about those dipoles that don't work.
All right. So the other thing I wanted to mention, I just briefly said something about it there. We have 2 chat servers up now, one on Discord and one on Slack. If you're interested in testing them out, giving us your feedback so we can make a decision on one or the other, get with me on the Discord and then either me or Jeff on the Slack, and we can get you added so you can play around with it and see what you like.
I personally really prefer Discord. I'm already on there.
Yeah. I think
What
they
is
both
this
do
all about?
voice, don't they? Jeff, does Slack do voice?
I don't know.
I know.
I think Slack's a little more like for like a discussion. They're pretty similar, but I don't think you can do voice on Slack. I'll have to check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
share files, share apps.
I know you can do voice on Discord. I want to say you might, and Christina may know this, I think you may could even do video on Discord.
You can do video on Discord. You can do screen sharing on Discord. That's specifically what it's for,
Testing.
actually.
Okay. But yeah, if you're interested in testing out either one, giving us your feedbacks, again, with Discord, just get with me. With Slack, you can get with either one of the Jeffs and we can get you added to try it out. Trying to think if there's anything else. Does anybody know of anything else we need to discuss?
One thing I would throw out there, it sounds like we've kind of went back to, we're going to do field day at home. I know that Harry has a contact, I believe it is, that they do like acrylic trophies and stuff, and we use that for like different awards. I think we gave one to Michelle for her outstanding job as the education officer. I think we've given out a couple more, but they're really nice, and they're really not all that expensive to have them made. And maybe for the awards, for the the high score, the different categories we have awards in, I think it'd be nice to have something that's really nice to give away. And I think Jeff mentioned, since we're not going to be spending out, forking out the money for food and everything else we need to spend on field day, we use part of those funds. I think it's just like $300 we spend. We can use those funds to help offset the cost of some of those nicer awards or plaques.
I think it sounds like a good idea. I think we need to mention the coronavirus of 2020 on the trophy. Just as a grin and giggle.
So one of the other things is I was given a challenge coin that has the virus logo on it, that they're actually real inexpensive. They're made out of poker chips. And we could get a set of those made, and everybody that works get one.
Yep.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's a good idea.
The quote unquote participation trophy.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Jeff will know who works because they're going to turn their logs into him. At least that's what he said in his email.
That would be the requirement for getting the coin.
Yeah. And being eligible for a trophy.
You don't get the reward.
I'm gonna have to find a place for my wife to sleep on that weekend because my radio's in the bedroom and she won't let me operate 24/7 back there if she's trying to sleep. Or maybe I need to get a long cable and run it into another part of the house.
You just need to go get you a hotel room for her. It's like, woo, freedom.
It's expensive than buying new cable.
50 foot of cable or
so
a
you
weekend
can spend the
piece.
money on cables, huh?
Well, I'll either be in here or I'll have the radio out in the shed because if my granddaughter spends the night, that room is right next to me. So
okay.
If I'm going to operate, boy, she'll be up all night. And I don't want my granddaughter up all night. So it'll be one or the other. I'll be hooking the coax in place of the, and disconnect the cable from the polyphaser and move it to the, and pull 25 feet out to the shed and work out the shed.
Yeah.
That's
All
where
right.
digital is so beautiful. You can turn the volume off and you don't have to hear anything.
Well, it's the declassification that's the killer right now.
Yeah.
Well, you can contact, so if everybody is doing it, or if most clubs are going to individual thing, then you either as a D class station work everybody and don't claim any credit, or you have 3/4 of the people on the air ineligible to talk to you.
So how many of y'all are planning on operating?
Well,
Me.
yeah.
If I'm not on the road, I plan to be.
I will be operating if
But if we have our own little
hold.
so-called field day, then we don't supply anything to ARRL.
Because
And we
unless
work-
you make a lot of contacts, you're not
And
going
we
to
work a lot, and we work everybody. So
Well,
we-
the gotcha in that is the other D stations that you try to talk to. Because they may look at your report to another station and just write you off right there.
yeah, that's
Write
true.
you off
Not a-
because you're a Delta.
Well, you know, as long as you're calling CQ, then they can contact you or not. Okay, you can work them or not.
You know, that's
Yeah.
true.
But I mean, yeah, it would be great. I mean, the best thing to do is Well, shit, just tell them you're a 1E. Hell.
So did they open their
If
offices
you're
yet?
not, if you're not gonna submit the log to ARRL and you're gonna submit it to Jeff, just say you're a 1E. Who the hell cares?
And who's gonna come know, who's gonna know?
That's
It's
true.
all trust anyway.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question. This is John Wayne.
Mhm.
If I've got a small backup generator, is it only the radio and the log computer that needs to run off that generator?
Radio.
Just the radio.
It's a radio.
Just the radio?
Yep.
All right, that should be easy.
So
Everything
Well,
else.
just the power supply.
Okay, so the lights and the air conditioner and creature comforts can be commercial power.
yes,
Because that's what we do at the, when we
That's
work
what
at
we
the
do at the
fire
fire station.
we just
Right.
use my generator and power the radios.
Okay,
You can
And
do
again,
a solar
I'm
panel,
not gonna know
100-watt
whether you're
solar
really
panel
one
on
or
that
not.
battery.
yeah, okay, I just didn't remember if it was computer also that was backup emergency power.
That's only if your computer, if you run like a flex radio and the computer directly controls the
No.
radio, then it would
The
have to. But if it's just for
computer-
logging, then no, you don't.
The computer's doing the log. Okay,
And if you're not gonna submit it to ARRL, who cares? Just call it a 1E so you can make as many contacts as you want.
right.
Because we're not gonna distinguish between a 1D, a 1E, a 1B, or anything like that. You know, it's
Okay.
100 watts or less, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
And
100
number of
watts.
contacts. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go and make it, oh, well, the 1D category and
There'll be
No.
15 of us.
Right.
There's not
All
gonna,
right.
there's not gonna be 100 of us.
Well, I might can do that then.
20 at the max for this club.
So let me ask this. If you hook a battery, a 12-volt battery to your radio, and it just so happens it's getting charged for commercial power, but you're running on battery power, emergency power.
There is a specific exclusion in the rules for people who do that. You still class D.
Yep.
It has to
Right.
be battery not charged from commercial.
What if you charge it from a solar panel?
That's acceptable.
That's okay.
Solar's okay.
Well, I got
that's what
about
a king does.
9 solar panels.
What's the wattage on them?
They're 200 watt. At 12 volts, they're putting out 16 amps.
Yeah, I thought about that. The only problem is when the sun goes down, they don't do that.
So if you have two 100 amp hour batteries, that'll run you 10 hours.
Well, I've got 4 cars. Each car has one.
Then you would be a C.
Anywhere.
So you got about 20 hours.
There's the way around the rule, Hugh.
As long as you don't series those batteries.
Charge your battery, your
just
rig.
No,
So Lowell can do it, drive around with his hamstick on the back of his truck or something.
There you go.
okay.
No,
Then
no,
I'm
no.
a mobile
You park
station.
You park the car next to your shack and run a DC cable.
Okay.
Yeah. and
Well,
you, after you get 2 batteries weak, you just fire up your car and, you fire up one car while you're running off the other car battery, and you're always running off the battery.
Well, my
The charge.
ham shack is out in the garage, so I'll park the car right outside the garage door.
Hey, and the car is a generator.
Yeah, let's see. There was something I read in the rules about that. There's an exception about that too. They got that covered.
Yeah,
But as long as the car's not running at the time that you're using the battery, and you switch to another car, and then you turn the car on that's got the low battery to recharge it, and you're always just running off the battery.
Okay. All right. I'll have to go back and think about that. I can do something. Yeah. The radio is 12 volts. So that's good.
Like
Well,
I said, this your plan to turn it
want an
into
old junk
ARRL.
car that has an engine that runs, and it's not therefore a vehicle. Is it a proper generator for running a hand rig on field day?
Well, I don't have an electric car yet. So mine are still, 100 horsepower cars and a battery, 12 volt battery. So I'll have to work on that. My problem is an antenna, like getting some wire up to use. None of it will work without an antenna up.
We got plenty of push-up poles and plenty of dipoles that we can loan you.
Yeah, I've got poles. I just need to get them put up.
Well, what are you sitting there for then?
It's dark outside.
I think we've had an invitation to all come over to use, and
Stay 6 feet apart though.
I've got enough alternate power to run about 6 stations right now.
Well, the problem is we can't get 50 people at Hugh's house. That's against the rules now.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, I still got my 2000i generator I'll use that I've used every year.
Yep.
There you go.
Except the years I used solar. During the day, I used the solar panel to the battery, and then at nighttime, I switched over to the generator.
Mm-hmm. What's that, Tom?
If Hugh's house is a church, we can all go there.
I'm sorry, I stepped on you.
I was saying if Hugh's house is a church, we can all go there.
All you gotta do is get an ordained minister to sit there. You can call it having church.
I'm staying home.
All right.
Oh boy.
So no matter what happens, it's going to be individuals this year. And if you want to call yourself 1E so you can work everybody, I don't have a problem with it. I really think the D not contacting D is stupid this year.
Yes.
You're cutting out about a huge amount of your operators.
Well, I think the field day can be a lot of fun for this club this year, even though we don't do a combined thing, but it would be nice if the ARRL would contest committee would relent on the Part D.
Did they open up their offices yet?
Haven't
A lot of remote work. I don't think they are.
I was going to say if they open them up, and give them a phone call and bring the phone
But
off the hook.
if the fire department allows it, or is anybody interested to do it that way?
Well, that's where I'll be, because I can't do it here. I'll be.
Well, we kind of talked about that, Tom, and I think the consensus is let's just do individuals this year. Because again, our club, some of us are getting on up in years. We have underlying conditions, like I have diabetes, so. And
yeah, that makes
you're
sense.
not going to share radios.
Yeah,
and
I'm not getting any older either, guys.
Well, the catch would be is everybody would have to bring their own radio, their own headsets, everything, and not share anything. And then if somebody comes up with a cold or a flu or something,
yeah,
Or a cough.
or a cough, yeah.
Yeah.
This
No,
year, I think-
you're absolutely right. Well, I'm going to send a letter off to that address somebody posted there.
I'm good
And
too.
I think we all ought to, and I think we ought to get our whole club to do it, whether they're going to participate or not. Because like I said, it's not a permanent exception.
That's right.
We're asking for 1 year because of the way the government has set everything up. Everybody's being penalized this year because of that. And there's already enough crap going on because of this. They ought to let us at least do this and have fun this year. That's my 2 cents. I've been on the soapbox long enough about it.
Yep,
Yes,
that makes
exactly.
sense.
Yes, I'll send some emails like that.
Just remind them that they're taking out the vast majority of their operators, or they're going to cause their people to lie. Hey, I was really a 1E. They're not going to ask you to prove it. They're taking your word for it. So you're either going to lie or you're just going to knock most of your people out.
Yeah.
Well, the E is just above the D on the keypad, so I accidentally pushed the wrong button.
There you go.
350 times?
No, you just set it up once in your software. And then
Right. You load that in the logging program and off you go.
Shortcut it.
Sure. It's easier on CW anyway.
okay. Well, unless anybody else has anything else to go, I think we'll shut her down. And I'll send out an email to everybody through Ham Club with the email address, and see if we can get enough people to petition them. Maybe they'll make a change.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Because I'd rather do it honestly, but to be honest, I'm in it to have fun, and that's make as many contacts as possible. And if I have to lie because they won't change the rule to a common sense rule, then I'll do it this year.
Yeah.
Because we're only going to turn them into Jeff anyway, so.
Yeah.
And he didn't hear us say we were lying. As far as he knows, everybody's got a generator.
The only negative of doing that, and I'll just speak for me personally, it would be the same as when you're working stations that refuse to use lot W or something like that. Maybe it's not hurting us as for us, but there's somebody else that we're working on the other end that may be really gunning for high scores. And if we don't turn our logs in, those are X logs they don't get, and that's points we're stealing from them. So I think we should still turn our logs in. Not necessarily for us, but for the recipient of the people we work, just out of courtesy to them.
Yeah.
Does the ARRL run a log checking program for field day?
I believe they do. Rich, do they? I know y'all sent logs in before, don't they? Don't you have a submitted log and then they give you a final tally score?
Yeah, they do. It's your claimed score and then it's your actual score.
Yeah, so somebody's tallying something somewhere if you've got two different scores.
That is correct. But they're looking at all the various ways that you can earn points. And, as long as you abide by everything, the majority of the time, I'm typically within, 100 to 200 points. Where those other 200 points go, I don't know.
But they're not taking contacts away if they don't get a log from Joe Blow in Mississippi.
No.
It's not like a CQWPX or anything like that.
Oh, okay. Then I guess at that point, it's not a
If
big deal.
nothing else, you're probably helping them by giving them a call.
Right. Okay. Well, see, I was thinking if
As a
they did a check log and we didn't get the confirmed QSO, then they're losing points, and that wouldn't be fair.
There's probably something built into their algorithm that checks to see how many stations that don't submit logs are there.
Well, probably like duplicates on one band and single sideband, for example, or CW, and that's probably the parity check that they're doing there.
Right.
Duplicate check.
Yeah.
I mean, this is for to have fun, not to be scrutinized.
Right. Field day's not a contest, people.
Yep.
That's what they keep telling us. Well, that's what they keep telling us, but then they publish high scores and give awards, and sounds to me like a contest.
Yeah, it walks like a contest and talks like a contest.
It's like Vince Lombardi used to say, if winning wasn't important, why do they keep score?
It's only a contest because we have things like Rich reporting, we beat Cowtown by 300 points this year.
All righty, guys, my battery is fixing to go kaput on me here, so I'm going to go ahead and bail out before it kicks me off.
Guys.
So 73 is everybody.
I think we're done. 73. Stay well, everybody.
73.
73 all around.
Righto.
Stay well.
Yes, indeed.
Stay well. 73.